Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I trust that you're doing well. In this video, we're going to follow up on the price action of Theta, as Theta has done something significant. It has broken the top side of the range. Now, the question is, do we get continuation to the upside? So I'm going to pull up the chart. I'm going to show you some price levels I'm paying very close attention to. So let's get into it. And here we have Theta up on the daily chart in TradingView. And on the last analysis, we were pretty much observing how darn boring Theta had been for the last several weeks, just trading straight sideways in this range between these two horizontals here. And I was saying that if Theta was to resolve this range, whether that came to the upside or the downside, that it would be quite telling as to where Theta would be moving next. And in this case here, we do see Theta resolving the top side of that range very convincingly here. Very nice celery stick coming in, blasting through the top side of that range, coming in on nice volume down below. And we even got a bit of a back test of that former resistance, flipping it into support. And now we have continuation implied as this celery stick right here has closed above these ones right here. So looking good here. This is looking like a pretty darn good breakout, and supporting this breakout is a bullish cross between the 21 and 55 just down below here. So overall, things are looking really good for Theta on the short to mid term, and that upside is likely implied here. Of course, Bitcoin can ruin the party if the market decides to dump, or even the traditional markets decide to dump, then that could certainly ruin this setup here. But if there's no disruptions here, I do think Theta is going to work on some higher price levels, and perhaps it's going to work its way up to the low $2 mark, somewhere in that area there. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just adjust this box like so. So I've put a purple box in the chart here. We have a bottom side coming in at around $2.09, and then we have a top side coming in at $2.20. And we do see the 200 simple moving average just up above that. So we'll have to see how that behaves as it gets into that area. But this would be a fair target for the the midterm, assuming nothing comes along and disrupts this. At the time of recording, we do see Theta coming into contact with this little stutter step in price action before we saw that continuation down. And as of right now, price action is just kind of hesitating at that level. I wouldn't consider this a significant resistance, but it makes sense that price action would just kind of pause here for a moment before, having lift off once again. So things are overall looking good for the upside here on Theta. Let's have a look at the momentum. No major signals on the momentum. We are seeing the RSI get rejected from the bullish control zone. Typically, that will happen on first pass. So when you see the RSI get extreme like this, and then it starts to work its way back up, a lot of the time it's quite probable you'll see the RSI reject from the edge of that zone. And usually that comes alongside a little bit of a pullback. We see the EMA nicely slope to the upside. So perhaps these two come together here sometime really soon. And then we'll see maybe somewhere around this area. We'll see if the RSI can find some support off that and then look for that continuation. It's nice to see that the RSI has plenty of room to run, as Theta is hinting at a little bit of price action for the first time in a while here. Down below in the stochastic, we're seeing it nice and angled to the upside, has plenty of room to run here if the bulls want to continue this push for the upside. Now, if you haven't caught my analysis on Bitcoin, I did one on Bitcoin today. If I haven't released that already, it'll be out soon. So be sure to check that out. It's always important to pay attention to Bitcoin, as if Bitcoin decides to dump, usually the alts take a massive beating. I also have a video out on Ethereum. If I haven't released that one yet, it's coming out soon. And Ethereum's been the most interesting one in this market lately, actually. With the big fundamental news for Ethereum coming up in the near future here, it seems to me that Ethereum's pretty much put this market in its backpack and is climbing up the mountain. So, I'm going to be paying attention to Ethereum we get near that event. So certainly check out those analysis as well. As we all know, Bitcoin can every bit ruin a party, if you will. But overall, just looking at the chart in front of us here, Theta is looking good. This range looks resolved to me. Nice little back test here, and I am looking for some upside price action at this point in time. Now, this whole thing falls apart if price action is able to get back into this range. That would not be a good look, especially after retesting that as support, and especially with this bullish cross coming in down below. But if Theta gets back into this range and starts taking out this pivot right here, then things won't be looking good for Theta at that point in time. That pivot point is a area coming in around $1.31. So if we see Theta start closing down below $1.31 for whatever reason, then likely it would work its way down and test support down here once more around that $1.04 mark. And as I was stating in the last video, the $1 mark for Theta is a pretty significant level level of support by the looks of things. As more and more data is revealed here, that $1 level is held so well. If for whatever reason $1 was to be taken out, then I think Theta would be initiating targets down around the 80-cent mark. So somewhere, maybe 80 cents to 85 cents, somewhere in that area there. And if you're someone that follows Theta from a fundamental perspective, then likely that would be a significant opportunity. But depending on what the market's doing, I mean, things are still a little uncertain out there. So I wouldn't be making a call like that right now. But I do think Theta's looking to try to the upside here. I think that is the most probable. But of course, as you know, I always put a condition in the chart. I want to know where my idea is going to be wrong. Protecting capital, to me, is the biggest part of this game. It's nice to have a bias. It's nice to find, to find an edge in the market, so a statistical advantage over the market. But that's not a crystal ball, and it's not a guarantee. So it's equally, if not more important, to have a validation point that says, hey, look, price action's not cooperating with that idea any longer. This is where the bias falls apart, bias buster, if you will, and it's time to make new decisions and reassess things at that point in time. Anyway, things looking good for Theta. We might have ourselves a breakout on our hands here. We'll see what the future brings. And by the way, if you guys don't have TradingView just yet, I know in the past you used to be able to use TradingView for free. I know I certainly did for months before I eventually upgraded. But I'm going to leave a link for TradingView in the description of this video, as well as in the pinned comment down below. Feel free to sign up. If they don't have a free version anymore for whatever reason, they probably at least have a trial version of this. Anyway, feel free to sign up on it, follow along with my videos if you want, and use it to follow along with anybody else that you might be watching as well. But anyway, that'll be linked for you in the pinned comment down below, as well as the description of this video. Thanks so much for everyone for coming by and checking out this video. Looking forward to seeing the next one. And until I do, have yourself a powerful day.